Hello students, today we are going to study a phylum of non-chordata and that is known as the Coelenterata. Now the very first thing is that why this phylum is called a Coelenterata. The word actually Coelenterata is coming from the term coelentron, and the coelentron means the hollow intestine, means they are having a hollow cavity in between them, and that cavity is called as the coelentron cavity. But this Coelenterata phylum name is the older name. The new name is given to this phylum and the new name is called as the Cnidaria. Now again the question arises, why this name was given? So the name Cnidaria is given to this phylum because the phylum members are having special cells known as the cnidoblast cells. The term Cnidaria is coming from the cnidoblast cells. These cnidoblast cells can also be called it as nematocyst cells. They can also be called it as stinging cells. These cells are peculiarly found only in this phylum only. No other phylums are having such type of the special cells, and these cells are very special. They are meant for capturing the food, they are meant for attack, they are meant for defense, they are meant for attachment, they are meant for locomotion. Okay, so they are very special cells found in the phylum Coelenterata, and hence the new name is given to this phylum known as the Cnidaria. Okay, and just now I have said that they are called a Coelenterata because they are having the coelentron cavity. The coelentron cavity is also called as gastrovascular cavity, and it is surrounded by the gastrodermis. And remember this thing, that this cavity is only having one opening, that is known as the mouth. It is meant for both the ingestion as well as the egestion of the food. Now the anterior end of the body, just now I have said that they are having only the single opening. Now see here, that single opening is called as mouth, and where that opening is present you can see that anterior end of the body consists of hypostome. Anterior end of the body is with hypostome, and on this hypostome is located the mouth, means they are only having one opening known as the mouth. Okay, now habitat, where they are living, mostly they are found in the marine water, but there are few creatures, right, which are found in the fresh water also. Say for Hydra is the member of the phylum Coelenterata, and it is found in the fresh water. Okay, next is the symmetry, that is, we can call it a symmetry. What type of symmetry they are having? So they are having radial symmetry. They are having radial symmetry. Any plane which is passing through the center divides the body into two equal halves, then such a symmetry is called as what? Radial symmetry. So the symmetry in the phylum Coelenterata is the radial symmetry. Now what type of body organizations they are having? Now you have seen that in the phylum Porifera. Just before the Coelenterata we have studied the Porifera. In Porifera you have seen that the body organization was cellular grade of body organization. Here the cells have been combined together to form the tissue, so we can say that body organization is cell tissue grade of body organization. Now what about the body wall? They are having two layers. Okay, they are diploblastic, right? The outer one is called as the ectoderm, which is also called as the epidermis, and the inner one is called as endoderm, which is also called as the gastrodermis. Okay, now in between the ectoderm and the endoderm, now this is very important, in between the ectoderm and the endoderm there is a non-cellular jelly like layer present, and that is called as what? Mesoglea. So in between the epidermis and the gastrodermis a non-cellular jelly like mesoglea is present. They may be solitary. Say for Hydra is not found in colony. Okay, it is found lonely, right, and it is called as solitary, known as the Hydra. The Obelia is colonial, it is found in colony. Sedentary means they are fixed at one place, Obelia, or they may be free swimming, such as the Aurelia. Okay, now they exhibit two body forms. They exhibit two body forms, means we can say that polymorphism is found in between them. They are having polymorphism. Polymorphism means what? They have more than, they are having many forms. Okay, say for they are having two special forms. One is known as the polyp and another is known as what? The medusa. Now very important, and from here the question may be asked. Polyp is the sessile. Polyp is sessile, means it is not free swimming, it is sedentary, and it is cylindrical, and it is asexual phase. It is asexual phase. Again I am saying polyp is sessile, means sedentary, and it is cylindrical, it is the asexual phase. Example is the polyp forms are Hydra and Admasia, while the Medusa is umbrella shaped and it is free swimming. It is umbrella shaped and it is free swimming. It is the sexual phase. Medusa is the sexual phase, and the best example is of the Medusa stage is the Aurelia, also called as the jellyfish. But the very important thing to be noticed here is that there are some cnidarians, there are some coelentrates which exhibit both the forms, and because both the forms are present, both the forms show alternation of generation, which is also called as metagenesis. Many times from here question is asked in various medical entrance examination that what is metagenesis. Metagenesis is alternation of generation. It is the alternation of the polyp and the Medusa stage, and this alternation of generation or the metagenesis is the feature of Obelia. It is found in Obelia. Now what happens in Obelia? Polyp produce Medusa asexually. Very, very important point. Polyp produces Medusa asexually, and Medusa produce polyp. Medusa produce polyp sexually. Polyp produce Medusa asexually and Medusa produce polyp sexually. Hence we can say that in Obelia metagenesis or alternation of generation found. Body plan. What about the body plan? They have blind sac body plan. What is a blind sac body plan? Means only one opening is present. Mouth is present but anus is absent. If we talk about the digestion, they are having both type of digestion. The digestion may be intracellular or may be extracellular. All the systems, generally all the systems, excretory system, respiratory system, circulatory systems are absent. But the point to be noted here is that many times this question is asked in examination that which was the phylum in which the nervous system has originated. So very first the nervous system was originated in the phylum Coelentrata, though it is primitive type. Brain is not present but nerve net is present. So the nervous system is primitive type. Nervous system is primitive type. Okay. Now let's have a look on the reproduction aspect. Let's have a look on the reproduction aspect, at what type of reproduction they may have or they possess. Okay. So first of all, they may be unisexual. They may be unisexual or bisexual. Some members are unisexual while some members are bisexual. So they may be unisexual or bisexual. In them sexual reproduction also occur as well as asexual reproduction can occur. So sexual reproduction with the help of gametes, by gametes, say for sperms and ovas. Sperms are produced by testes and ovums are produced by ovary. Now very common one, that is known as the asexual reproduction. As you know very well, right from the beginning classes you have studied that asexual reproduction in the case of the coelentrates occur by budding. The very common example of budding is what? Hydra, where a small outgrowth arises from the parent body which later on grows and detach from the parent body. So the asexual reproduction occur by budding. Okay. Now development. Now development in them may be direct or indirect. If we talk about the direct development, then direct development is not having larva absent. And if we talk about the indirect development, means larva present. So some members are having indirect development and some are having direct development. Now if we talk about the larval stages, so there are two types of the larval stages. One is known as the planula and another is known as what? Ephyra. Planula and Ephyra. There are two types of the larval stages, planula and Ephyra. Okay. And these larval stages may be found in Obelia and Aurelia. These may be found in Obelia and Aurelia. Okay. So two type of larva, planula and Ephyra. Okay. and they may be unisexual or bisexual. At last, they have great power of or regeneration. They have great power of regeneration. So these were the general features, these were the general characteristic features of the phylum Cnidaria. Okay, now after studying the general features of the phylum Coelenterata, we will be talking about the classification of this phylum. We will be studying a comparative account of the phylum Coelenterata. So let's have a look on the classification of the phylum Coelenterata. The phylum Coelenterata is actually classified into three classes: Hydrozoa, that are known as the water animals; Scyphozoa, means the cup animals; and the Anthozoa are known as what? The flower animals. Okay, first one, the habitat. See here that in the class Hydrozoa, the members are mostly marine. Generally they are marine, but few members such as the Hydra are found in fresh water. But the members of the Scyphozoa and the Anthozoa are strictly marine. If we talk about the cavity, so in the case of the hydrozoans, the central cavity is called as the gastrovascular cavity, which is simple and there are no compartments, as the mesenteries or the septums are absent. Here in the case of the Scyphozoa and in the case of the Anthozoa, in both of them the cavity is complex, it is having compartments, and the compartments are formed because of the presence of the mesenteries or the septums. Mesoglea, as we know very well that mesoglea is present in between the epidermis and the gastrodermis. So the mesoglea in Hydrozoa class members is non-cellular and thin, while in the case of the Scyphozoa the mesoglea is cellular, it is thick, it is filamentous, and it is jelly-like, while the Anthozoa the mesoglea is cellular and it is filamentous. Velum, the medusa is with velum. Only in the case of the class Hydrozoa the medusa stage is with velum. Medusa stage is with velum, while in the case of the Scyphozoa and the Anthozoa the velum is absent. Stages. Now as we know very well that the coelentrates can have many forms such as the polyp and the medusa stages. So we can see here that in the class Hydrozoa polyp and medusa stages both are present. In the class Scyphozoa the medusa stage is more dominant than the polyp, while in the Anthozoa only and only polyp stage is present. Okay, now if we see about the alternation of the generation, alternation of generation, also called as the metagenesis, is the feature of the hydrozoans only, while in the case of the Scyphozoa and the Anthozoa, in both the cases the alternation of generation is absent. Why? Because here polyp and medusa both stages are present and they can show alternation of generation, while here mostly the medusa stage is dominant, so alternation of generation is absent, and here polyp stage is present, again medusa is absent here, so we can say that alternation of generation is also absent. Now the very peculiar feature of the phylum Coelenterate is the presence of the cnidoblast cells. Now where the cnidoblast cells are found? So in the class Hydrozoa members the cnidoblast cells is found in the ectoderm, while in the Scyphozoa it is found in ectoderm as well as endoderm, and in Anthozoa also it is found in ectoderm as well as endoderm. If we talk about the skeleton, skeleton is absent in Hydrozoa class members as well as the Scyphozoa class members. Skeleton is only the feature of Anthozoa class members. There are special organisms, group of organisms known as corals, in which the skeleton is made up of calcium carbonate. It is made up of calcium carbonate. The outer skeleton made up of calcium carbonates of the corals combined together to form the reef. The Great Barrier Reef of Australia is the greatest or the longest reef. Okay, it is 1700 to 1800 kilometer long and it is 175 kilometers in width. Okay, now origin of reproductive organs. The reproductive organs originate by the epidermis, and in the case of the Scyphozoa and the class Anthozoa, in both of them the reproductive organs originate from the gastrodermis. And at last you can see the examples. Some important members I have written here. Hydra, which is belonging to the Hydrozoa, is a freshwater creature. Physalia, many times this question is asked. It is known as the Portuguese man of war. Vallela and Porpita are the floating creatures of the class Hydrozoa, and Obelia, which is also an important member of the class Hydrozoa. Now, Scyphozoa, a very important member you can see in the Scyphozoa is the jellyfish, also known as the Aurelia, Rhizostoma, which is having many mouths, and Cynia, which is also called as the sun jelly. Anthozoa, Madrepora, it is also called as, commonly it is called as staghorn coral. Gorgonia is called as the sea fan. Pennatula is called as the sea pen. Metridium known as the Edmasia or the sea anemone. So student, this was a comparative account of the class Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa and the Anthozoa of the phylum Coelenterata. Keep watching my videos, subscribe my channel and like my videos. Thanks a lot.